Welcome back to Everything All the Time. I'm Pat O'Brien. He is Court McCowan. We're here on 2 days after the Masters. Have been two already?
Yeah.
And tomorrow night's Kobe Bryant's last game, and the Warriors go to try to beat the Chicago Bulls record of 73 wins. But another big story landed on us this morning. A report came out yesterday that they say that 40% of former NFL players now suffer from brain injuries. I think it's low. I texted him this morning. Dr. Daniel Amen is one of the leading experts on brains. He's looked at my brain, actually.
I really want to find out what kind of damage
he knows what he's talking
there.
about, and he joins us now live. Hello, Doc. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Court's so anxious to hear about my brain.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at these studies and all these studies that came out, this one came out in the Post, and obviously you've done a whole bunch of studies on this. What is it that you find so significant in these CT? What is the damage? I mean, where is the damage in the brain?
Well, we actually did the world's largest study on active and retired NFL players, and I think most thoughtful 9-year-olds would figure it out. Brain is soft, about the consistency of soft butter. Skull is really hard and has sharp, bony ridges, and if you hit it thousands of times, because these players often played in high school and college and now in the pros, what we see is damage to the front part of the brain, focus, forethought, judgment, impulse control, damage to their temporal lobes, memory, and learning. And we see it in much higher than 40% of the players. But the big news, I think, is our ability to rehabilitate damaged brains. I mean, that's been the big news in neuroscience for 20 years, this idea of neuroplasticity, that if you put the brain in a healing environment, it can recover. And that's the part of the story very few people are actually talking about.
Well, let's talk about it, because you know how to do that. I mean, just in my own case, he looked at my brain, and I'd been through bouts of alcoholism and drug abuse, and my brain bounced back after I stopped drinking.
A full recovery?
Was it a full recovery, Doc?
Well, I mean, that's what's so exciting, is if you continue to put it in, well, I mean, obviously, if you continue to put it in a toxic environment, it's going to have toxic consequences. But if you stop that and then put it in a healing environment, so one of my players, his name is Anthony Bruck, he played 5 years in the NFL.
Right.
He was a linebacker. And when he came to see me, his brain was damaged. I mean, it was just really clear. He did all the things I asked him to do. 3.5 months later, I just saw him a few weeks ago, his brain is significantly better. And that just makes him so excited to continue to do the right things, knowing he's not stuck with the damage that he had. But the problem is the NFL has been in denial for so long.
Boy, have they ever.
That they weren't taking a proactive approach to putting people in hyperbaric chambers, getting them on the right diets, getting them the right supplements, doing all the things that we can do. And, it even affects me. The study from the Mayo Clinic came out and said 1/3 of people who played football at any level, including high school, which is where I played, end up with long-term brain damage. And that should scare the socks off everybody. And we live in a brain-damaging society where 2/3 of us are overweight. That damages the brain. Half of us are diabetic or pre-diabetic. That damages the brain.
Alcoholics.
60% of us have hypertension, alcohol, sleep apnea, chronic stress. All of these things damage the brain. In fact, I have a new book coming out in November called The Brain Warrior's Way, because as I look around in our society, we're in a war for the health of our brains, and you have to be armed and prepared. And when you are, your life is just better.
Dr. Daniel Amen is our guest. What's the website?
AmenClinic.com. So Amen like the last word in a prayer, clinics.com. And we're actually going to do a free 6-month live class starting May 4th where we're going to teach people the Brain Warriors way, and people can go to brainwarriorswaylive.com. My wife and I are going to teach that because and we already have 3,000 people signed up. We're so excited to create thousands of warriors, of people who are serious about their health.
I am one of them. Now, listen, it's so well known, and we have doctors, great ones like you, saying this is a problem. Why do we have like Jerry Jones and Roger Goodell not answering questions or saying they're not quite sure this is the reason? I mean, a helmet doesn't prevent anything. All it does is prevents your skull from cracking. It doesn't help your brain.
Well, and the commissioner actually said, well, sitting on a couch is dangerous. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, if you're eating the Doritos that they, they advertise in the Super Bowl, you bet it's dangerous. And then Jerry Jones and then the coach of the Cardinals came out and said, oh, this is all nonsense. And Trump, I don't know if he came out and said the NFL's gone soft. We love these big hits. And it's like, so what does Trump, Jerry Jones, Roger Goodell have in common? They have learning disabilities.
Maybe they have.
Are you kidding? You haven't learned from all of the research, and not just the research, Pat. From Junior Seau killing himself.
Yeah, I was going to say
we haven't learned from the suicides, the homicides. This is a brain-damaging sport. We need to stop lying about it and start rehabilitating their brains. And then football's not going away. We need to think of football players like we think of firefighters. If you're a firefighter, that's a brain-damaging profession, from inhaling toxic smoke, the emotional trauma, the physical trauma from the falls they experience. Let's just admit it and then take care of the people who play.
Doc, I was going to ask you that. Is there going to come a time when, I mean, it's one of those things where it's there. We all know that there's damage. There's so much history of the damage that's been proven. Is there going to come a time when there's going to be doctors like you that are out there that they're finally taking players, and in the off season, they're working with these guys and rehabilitating these guys, like you're talking about, doing this Brain Warrior, doing these things? Is there going to come a time when that's actually going to happen? Is that coming up in the future, or is this something that's just going to stay in the dark and continue to be denied until basically we've got a bunch of brain dead guys running around on the field?
Well, I mean, a couple of things are happening now. For example, Ray Lewis had a hyperbaric chamber put into his home. Antoine Bolden, same thing. Yeah. So there are already players now thinking about this, and they're on rehabilitation programs. But, on the other side of the coin, Palos Verdes High School, so one of the most affluent high schools in Southern California, stopped its football program because they said it's too dangerous and we don't want to support it. So Pop Warner has gone down about 50%. You should never put a child in pads and let them hit their head.
Doctor,
it's just nuts when you think about it. Your brain's not done developing until you're 25. We just have to do a better job.
And football's not going to go away. It's a $9 billion industry, maybe 10. And Super Bowl is a national holiday, and and we all have to listen to Donald Trump. But so what is the solution? I mean, why doesn't I asked it before? Why doesn't the NFL wake up? I mean, they're not dumb people, are they? No.
Well, they're blinded people.
Okay.
By, you don't want to see this problem, and so you're in denial for a long time. Now, somebody from the NFL office actually came out and said, yes, we know it causes long-term brain damage in a significant number of people. I mean, it's the first time, it was just last month, that they actually admitted that it was a problem. They haven't taken the next step, is we are going to invest in rehabilitating these brains, and I'm excited about that. I don't know if you got to see the new movie Concussion.
Unfortunately, not many people did.
I would suggest people see that, because that's the frightening reality. We got to go.
It's a brilliant,
it's a brilliant movie. Yeah. Dr. Daniel Amen, who's got products and
Yeah, I'm going to check out. I'm actually going to go. I'm going to do your Brain Warrior thing. I want to check it out. I want to see if I can't maybe, tune up upstairs.
Awesome.
Well, I mean,
Don't say it.
my brain looked all right?
Yeah, see that.
Your brain is amazing from where it started.
Yeah,
No, he's right.
from,
He's right.
I
So,
like from
I mean,
where it started.
From
That was the best.
that point is that it can be repaired. Dr. Daniel Amen will put your information up, and we will become brain warriors, all of us. Thank you on short notice joining us, and it's always good to talk to you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Doc.
you both.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you. There he goes. He knows what's going on. I mean, he's
Man.
the guy. He's
I'm going to do that. I think it's one of those things where I'm sure that through, whatever, I'm sure that we all have something, because you always hear about people taking these, those, what is it, the ginkgo pills for brain
Right,
strength
right,
or whatever.
right,
It's
yeah.
like, this is something that actually could rehabilitate your brain, which I think is a
and
really,
you've fallen
really.
before, right?
Huh? Oh, I've fallen many
Yeah,
times.
me too.
Yeah.
By the way, we're brought to you by Effortless. I don't know why I hold this up because you can't see it, but I do because
It's effortless.
it's effortless.
Yeah.
They'll take everything that you have in your business, all your information, your brain scans, all that, and they'll put it up on the cloud. They'll keep it safe. That's been a big story
Yeah.
lately with Apple, and they caved. But Ben Gayhart and those people out there know what they're doing. And they decided to sponsor our program.
Smart. Very
Which
smart.
is smart. We're the
Very
number one
smart.
program on the network. We'll be back. Talk a little more golf, a little Colby, a little Warriors, and whatever this guy has on his mind. One lucky guy
Well, all the time.
all the time. I'll be back in a minute. We'll be back.